Hi guys, how have you been? It has been a minute, and I'm sorry I have not been uploading consistently. I think the last video like this I did on, I think I posted on Saturday, but I have been doing lives. So guys, consider joining my lives anytime I share live, maybe on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, on my WhatsApp page. I share when I'm going live. So guys, when I share, consider joining the live at the mentioned time because we are going to be discussing some important things on this channel during our live sessions. So this video we are about to do today, it was supposed to be a live, but something has not happened well, so I have to do it a video like this one, a sit down video always as I always do. So before we continue, if it is your first time on this channel, consider subscribing, liking, sharing, and commenting on our videos. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for choosing this space, for deciding to be here each and every time. I don't take it for granted. Thank you so much. Guys, my voice is not at its best. I know that, and you have to forgive me for that because it is what it is, and we have to do this. So, on today's video, I want us to talk about dealing with toxic colleagues and bad bosses. Guys, on the last live we did, I did a live on Monday, I talked about understanding toxic workplaces because majority of us, most of us are working in toxic environments. You can go back and watch that live there. There are some things to learn, important things that can help you. Because people are working in toxic environments and maybe they don't know, they don't understand, or sometimes they are blaming themselves, thinking that they are doing a mistake, thinking that they are not giving their whole in that job. Sometimes you blame you for things that you should not be blaming yourself for. Because some bosses are just toxic. I'm not saying every boss is toxic, but some are toxic. And some colleagues here also, on the other hand, they are toxic. Again, sometimes we as employees, maybe you are employed somewhere, sometimes we just work because we are there for money, but we don't put ourselves in the shoes of the bosses. So at any given time, whether you are employed, whether you are an employee, whether you are the employer, whether you are working with people, just consider yourself. Whatever you don't wish to be done to you, don't do it to anyone. Just take that job as yours. That is, you take yourself and put yourself in the shoes of that your boss and ask yourself, if I was the boss here and this person behaves like this and that, or they do this or that, will I forgive them? How will I feel? Again, if you are a boss, how you are talking to your employees, how you are treating them, sometimes at some point ask yourself, if I was the one employed here and treated the way I'm treating these people, will I be happy? Will I have freedom? Will I do the work I'm supposed to do in peace? And if you are working with people around you, treat them right. It is always good to treat people around you, people you are working with. Just give your friends, your colleagues ample time, because some people, I understand, we are working with some toxic people who sometimes pretend to be your friends, and they are the backstabbers. When you leave, the friendship is done, and they remain there talking about you. They are talking things that are not good, lies maybe, and a lot of the things that they can talk. These are the people we meet every day at our workplaces, and these people we can never change them. And I'm sure you, whoever is watching me, you have been in such an environment. Maybe you had a bad boss. At some point you have a good boss. Yes, they do exist also. Again, maybe you worked with a toxic colleague, someone who is toxicating everything you are doing, whatever you are doing. Some people are just snitches, they just go around and talking things that are not true, something that they just want, maybe they don't even want you to work there. And my problem sometimes is that if you don't want someone to work, we met there, all of us, we are grown-ups. Where I'm coming from, it is different from where you are coming from. Sometimes maybe you might do whatever you can do, and at some point maybe I am just sent away. I'm not working in that place anymore because of you or just because of me. So when you leave or whenever I leave, ask yourself, are you going to get whatever was being paid there? That one will never happen. For one, just get to understand that no matter how toxic you are to your colleagues, toxicate them, let them leave the workplace, but you will never get paid for what they were doing, or you will never be like them. And maybe you'll toxicate them and they will leave and get better places than that place you are working with them. So, guys, whenever you are working somewhere, whenever you are interacting with people, your boss, if you are an employee, your boss, your colleagues, treat people right, in the right way. So, today, as I have mentioned earlier, I have a video I did on Monday. Go on my this channel, check on my live on Monday, I did a video on how to understand toxic workplaces. And I said we are going to do it in series, 3 parts. So we did the first part in live. So today we are doing the second part, and that is dealing with bad bosses and colleagues. Kama kawaida, I have written the points down, the points we need to talk about, because these are the okay, they are my main points, but you can add yours. Maybe they are different from what you have experienced, because you can't tell me you have never experienced a toxic colleague or a boss or a workplace that is super toxic, guys. So there are types of toxic people at workplace, and I want us to discuss about them. There are 5 of them, yeah. And the first one is the micro manager. This person, maybe it is your boss or it is your whoever who is in charge of you, they don't trust you. They want to be the managers for everything. They want to manage even you. They want to be around you. They want to see what you are doing. Generally, they don't trust you. They gave you the job, right? But again, they think that kind of you are not qualified for the job. I don't know. For lack of a better word, let's say that they think you are not qualified for that job. And before they gave that job, I understand maybe you dropped your CV and your school papers and whatever, but still they can never trust you. They want to be around you, monitoring you and looking at what you are doing. They want to be the managers for each and everything. At some point, if someone, uh, like let's say me, I'm an employee, you are my boss, and you are always around me, you are always monitoring what I'm doing. At some point, I'll get tired, and we are human beings. So each time I'll be doing something and I'll be afraid. Maybe I'm not doing it the right way, because you are standing there and you want to see how I will do it. Maybe the way I will do it, it is not the way you will do it, but at the end we'll get the same results. That is what people need to understand. So that is the first type of toxic people at workplace. We call them the micro managers. Yani in Kiswahili we call them manager wa kila kitu, because they want to manage everything. The second type of toxic person in our workplace is the bully boss. There are some bosses who will intimidate you. They will use fear to against you. They will not even appreciate you whenever you do anything. They are there to tell you. Even some of them can even tell you you are stupid. Some can be such toxic and tell you that direct on your face. I don't want to mention an example of certain employees. I don't want to be specific, because I'm not discussing about someone particularly, but I have the experience of working in toxic environments. And I worked there because I had nothing to do. I had no option, but I had to do so for the period I was there. So these people, they will bully you each and every time, and for me, nothing acts like someone telling me I am a fool. Man, I don't like that, because I also don't like calling people fools. It is not professional. For one, you as a boss, I understand, like a boss, you should have certain qualities. There are things you should do and there are things that you should never do. So long as you are a boss, just first before you become, just being a boss is just a name. It is a title. It is a title you are given just because of the, will I say just because of money? Maybe. But without the qualities, a boss should be smart upstairs. A boss should not bully his employees. A boss should not dictate you. They should not intimidate you. They should not, I don't know which word I can use. And there are some bosses that are just toxic. Whenever you see them, you are just like, oh, now boss has come, you are shivering, you can even start sweating because the boss is around. And I understand that is a very bad environment to be. And whenever your employees are fearing you that much, think twice. You are a problem. You are another type of toxic person is the credit thief. These people in Kiswahili we call them mwizi wa mawazo. Sometimes you might be given a project in a workplace. So these people, maybe you might discuss. before presenting the whatever you are doing, the project. So someone will steal your thoughts. Whatever maybe you discuss there, and they listen and they are like, huh, this is a good idea. They will run with that idea as if it was theirs, and they will compete, the kind of competing with you. They will produce or present that idea as if it were theirs. So they just stole it from you. They will shine with their ideas like as if they are from their minds, their brains, and it is very wrong. The other type of people, toxic people, the gossip or the snake colleagues. Kiswahili we call them wafanyikazi, wanafiki, wasengenyaji. Yeah, some people are like just gossiping. Some people will just be your friends when you are there, but when you leave, you are their enemy. They are there exposing you. Maybe you have told them about your secrets, about your plans. Maybe you are even planning to quit and you told them. They will tell even the boss. They will tell the person in charge so that they can know that you have a plan of leaving. And majority of the bosses, whenever you are leaving at their from their workplaces, they are not happy. And maybe you are a good employee and they know what you bring to the table, and that might cause you might even lose the job before the time you planned to leave. You might lose that job before your time. The other type of a toxic person, it is the last one, the passive aggressive coworker. In Kiswahili, mfanyikazi wa kutoa porojo na kutisha wafanyikazi wenzake. They are those people. They won't confront you, but they will talk with the friends of your friends about you, and maybe it's kind of sending a message to you, but they don't want to share it directly to you. They just want to tell people, so and so is just like this and this. I know you understand those kind of people. They sabotage you from in your with their friends, the friends of your friends. I don't know if I'm making sense. That is the last type of a toxic person at a workplace. So, guys, have you ever met any of these in your workplace? These people are there. Drop it on the comment section because I understand you have met with these people. You cannot be that pure. You have never met toxic people, toxic colleagues, because these people are not your brothers, they are not your sisters, they are grown ups, and you cannot change the character of someone. How they choose to behave, it is according to their wish, and you meet these people when they are mature. You are also mature, so you are not there to change them. And the way they behave, maybe it will affect you, but again, I understand you should isolate yourself from such people. So, I have another subtopic about that discussion we're talking about, and it is how to handle these people. How to handle the toxic colleagues or the bad bosses. So, working out in that environment is not always the option. Sometimes you don't have something else and you have to sit there because maybe I will leave but I don't have a plan. You can't leave a workplace without a plan. You should plan, arrange yourself. Maybe you have some savings that can sort you out. They can work as your backup when you leave. But if you don't have that, you must stay there to make your things, to arrange your things properly, and when you are okay, you will leave. So you have to know how to handle these people. And I have some, how many? Yeah, I have 4 ways of handling those people. So the first way of handling those people is protect your mental space. Don't take their behaviors personally, like how someone chooses to behave. As I have said there, these are grown-ups, people you have met in your maybe in your 20s. So the rest of the years, you don't know how they have been behaving, how they were taught when they were growing up, and you can never change them. So choose you always. And whatever they are talking about, don't take it too personal, because sometimes you can take it too personal, yeah. But again, I will advise you not to take it too personal, because some things are just lies. People will say things that you did not do. They will tell the bosses something that you have not even done. And that one should not break you to an extent of leaving. You just protect your peace, because you understand these people are whatever they are talking, you are not the cause of it. They just want to talk. So let them be. The second point is limit your personal interaction. Stay polite and professional. Don't feed these people with your personal information. These people, we say they are toxic, right? These people might be the person you are sitting to next in the desk. You are working with them. They are the immediate person. Whenever maybe you stretch your hand like this, they are the person you are going to touch them. And you can never change that. That is not your home, it is a workplace. So those people are the people who sit with them from 8 to 5, maybe. So what do you do? They are not your brothers, they are not your sisters, and you can never change them. So limit yourself. Sometimes you even, for those who know me properly, it is not a way of being proud. I'm not proud, but for me, sometimes there's those people whom when we meet in the morning, we say hi, hi, or morning, and from there, even if we sit on the same desk next to me, we will not share anything else for the rest of the day. Maybe if you talk to me, yes, I will talk to you, but for me, most of the people think that I'm an introvert. Yes, kind of an introvert person, but not as such. To people who I know, the people who I trust, I'm not an introvert. And at some point, I would advise you to be an introvert. To some people, limit talking with them. Just be friends because they are your colleagues. Yes, whatever. If you can help them with something, yes, help. But don't share your personal information, your personal details. Just say hi in the morning. Wait for evening if you are going home, bye bye, and it is done for good. The other thing is use your HR carefully because some people can go to an extent that you want to save yourself. If the workplace you are doing, there is an HR. Some places maybe they don't have an HR, but an HR, what is the work of an HR? If you don't know, Google and understand the work of an HR. If your workplace as that HR is a safe person who you can approach and talk to them, use them wisely. If not, protect yourself quietly. Maybe the HR, some are qualified, but to some extent they cannot help you. So if you think they cannot help you, or even maybe you know they can never, you have an history of them, just protect yourself by being quiet. It is just for some hours, then you go back because, as I have said on the other video, have a life. It doesn't matter. Even if you are working from 8 to 5, have your own life after work from 5. Again, on the weekends, choose yourself. Have some friendships outside the workplaces. Friendships that matter, friends that can help you. The last point is have a life outside the workplace, as I have said. I have just talked about that point, so I don't need to explain this one for that long. Don't let your job be your entire identity. Some people, it is good to work hard to put in the work. So long as you're employed, just give it your best. Be the boss, put yourself in the shoes of the boss, and still reconnect your goals and your joy and enjoy your goals outside the workplace. When you leave that workplace, maybe you might be so serious at your workplace. When you leave the workplace, just leave that lot there, that coat there for seriousness. Go outside, enjoy, and that way maybe you'll avoid some stress and overthinking or thinking that this job is everything that you need. Sometimes it's not just a bad day, you know. You just wake up, you go to work, and uh, we are human beings, as I have said, and to some extent, we need to defend yourself. Sometimes those people are making a pattern of shouting at you, controlling you, and telling you how stupid you are, how you don't know how to do whatever you are doing. That is not good, and it affects people's mental health. And at some point, someone might choose to leave. As I have said, quitting is not always the option, but again, you can quit. Depends with the situation. If you want to quit in such an environment, because that environment exists everywhere, this environment exists. No one should lie to you. And sometimes you might leave a job place because it is so toxic. The people there are just, the bosses are shouting, no, this and this. You go in another place thinking it is better than where you left, and you are like, I wish I could have stayed there because maybe I know the devils there, but I'm new here and I'm meeting new devils, and you are like, what is life? You know? So, to some point, if you want to leave, I talked about this on that live I'm talking about. Go back, guys, and watch that live. It is super important and it will help someone. If you want to leave, it is good again to leave if you feel now I am. Because you'll never live there. You need to exit, maybe you'll retire, or maybe you'll just exit for good. Before you exit, plan yourself. Have some capital. Move with a plan. Before you leave, maybe you have said something. I know after this I'm going to do my own business. I'm going to start my own business. And again, business is not easy. You will not start a business today and expect it to start paying off tomorrow. You have to be patient. So, as you wait for it to start bringing in some profits, you need to survive. So how are you surviving without some savings, without some income in your account? It is not easy. That's why I'm saying before you leave, make sure you have a certain amount of money that you know this one can sustain me with my family and my needs, and it can pay bills before my business starts bringing in the capital. And if it is possible, the way I always talk about here, just start a side hustle. If you can, when you are still at your workplace, you can decide to sell your things online. If you are working from 8 to 5, there are sometimes you have some breaks, maybe at 10 and 1. That time, use it properly. Take your photos for the items you are selling from your house. When you have a free time at your workplace, post them. You never know who is watching. That way, you will create your clients, your customers, and you'll connect with them. Make sure you are someone who can be trusted. If a customer is asking for something and you promise them to deliver it at a certain day, at a certain time, make sure you do that. That way, you'll create your connection with those people and they will trust you. And the way you continue, your business will grow. And because sometimes you can go to workplaces, these are things that happen. You can be employed in the morning, and sometime maybe you might reach at workplaces, something happens, and you are like, no, we don't need you now, from this minute. Where will you start? If you had started that side hustle, it will sustain you because maybe you left before your time, before the time you had planned to leave. You have left and you have nothing to sustain you. But if you add that side hustle and it had already picked, it will sustain you before you think of the next step to do. So guys, if you have watched this video, go back and watch part 1 of it, and make sure you subscribe because we are coming with part 3 of it. And part 3 we will talk about part 3 of this, yeah, part 3 of this series. We are going to talk about how to survive in that toxic environment, because as I have said, quitting is not always the option. We can do better, or sometimes we can just be patient as we save and plan before we leave. So we are going to talk on the next video now how to survive, heal, and move on. Make sure you subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss out that last part. Again, I will still remind you, go back there, watch my live on Monday, the one I did about how to identify or understanding toxic workplaces. Guys, that is the end of our today's video. And thank you for always being there for me. Comment down there with what you have faced in a toxic workplace. The people, maybe the type of people you met, toxic employees, toxic colleagues, or toxic bosses. If you have met any of them, because I'm very sure you met them somehow, somewhere, at a given point. So that is the end of our today's video, guys. Consider subscribing, liking, sharing, and commenting. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it because it is so powerful, and I understand people are going through so much at workplaces. It is only that we don't get time to explain everything, and some people are afraid of talking about it because, again, if you be found talking about such things, still you are employed, that might be the end of your work. That might be the end of your job, and maybe you are not prepared for that. So guys, let's share this video and share it wisely. Share it with a friend and someone who you feel that they need to know this. Until next time, work smart, work hard, and remember that you are unstoppable. Bye bye, guys.